Good morning, friends. Time for the trade plan for uh, 14th of July 2020. Now, overnight markets in the US, there was some vaccine story, and finally, you know, we had a 400, 450 point upside. That was still when I was awake. And finally, those markets collapsed and closed lower. So S&P at one point was up like 20, 25 points, I think even higher, 30 odd points. And then it closed lower by 30 points. So just to give you an idea of what has happened, let's go to the charts and see what kind of damage we have seen. While it's still early days to say that the game is over there, but I think it's useful to just see what has happened. This is the S&P chart, and just look at what has happened here. We went up even till 3240, and the close here is about 100 points lower. Now, some people can say this is a correction, we are still in an uptrend. But this is, serious damage. And if you see uh, the Nasdaq, let's see if we can get Nasdaq. I think Nasdaq 100 should be good enough. Now this is 226 points. This has almost taken out 3 days worth of upside with a single bar. Now this has happened earlier also, but again, you are way off from your 20 DMA, which is about 10,233. So some kind of damage has started in global markets, and that was my big hope that if we have to come off out here, the global markets need to turn. So now let's get back into our market. This is our market. Now, yesterday I had said that I would not be very positive on the gap up, and lo and behold, the market gapped up, hung around there, and collapsed back into this range. Now, today, what we need to watch is the lower end of this range. And if global markets remain soft, then we could have a bit of a problem. So my sense is that we are way away from this 20, which is now at 10,420 thereabouts. So there is a correction which is lurking around and could come here. Now let's look at what happened on the Nifty Bank. Now what Nifty Bank has done is that we draw a little trend line, and don't think you can see it very well. So this is the trend line that we have broken. Okay. So things both globally and locally are looking a bit shaky. Good news, the vaccine news was good news. If a market starts to sell off on good news, then you can think that it's kind of pricing in that piece of news. So that's my overall take, that the financials remain extremely weak. My sense is that the bank nifty could have a correction even till the 50-day moving average, which is about 20,300 thereabouts. Now, the positioning I have is I have 10,600 puts hedged with 10,200 puts. So I have bought 10,600 puts and sold 10,200 puts. Now, for people who want to hedge further, you can create a ratio spread. You buy one of 10,600 puts and sell two of 10,200 puts. That is possible. For those who want to buy a bit more of time, you can do this in the month of August as well. My sense is that markets globally are getting into some sort of a corrective mode, correction, not turnaround, not going back to the lows, none of that. But from a very nifty perspective, 10,000, 10,200 seems possible. In terms of the bank nifty, you can create a bearish spread. A bearish spread on bank nifty could be of the order of you sell the uh, 22,000, uh, 22,500 call, and you hedge it with a 21,500. Um, one second. We are trying to play for downside. So you sell 22,500 um, call and hedge it with a higher call, which is at 23,500 thereabouts, and that should give you fairly decent money. I think the bank nifty has shown great amounts of weakness, so that should play out. If you don't want to do 23,500, you want to take lower risk, you can even sell the 23,000 call. But overall, at best, you know, I would think Nifty is a bit more stronger. I think tomorrow is the Reliance AGM. Once that AGM is done, Reliance could have a 100, 150 point style correction, particularly if NASDAQ is anything to go by. If you superimpose NASDAQ on a Reliance chart, you'll see they have both a similar chart. NASDAQ is a bit more sharper, but broadly the same sort of chart. So in terms of stocks, get defensive, get into your pharma, FMCG, IT, stick to short positions on most of the banking stocks. I would think some kind of a correction is beginning in the global markets, and that would shake off a lot of bullishness even here. So continue with your bearish positions. Try to avoid buying the dip till we sort out this divergence between Bank Nifty and Reliance. As I've been saying on other forums, that Bank Nifty is just beginning its downside. Chances are Reliance will join it on the downside rather than Bank Nifty turning around and joining it on the upside. So that way, I think it's relevant at this point to have another check on Reliance. Reliance Industries. Now, what I want to show you is a weekly chart of Reliance. Now, you can see that the closing price here is 1950. The 20-week moving average is at 1450. When Reliance got overextended here, it snapped back. I would think it is in a similar position right now. So the odds of Reliance falling back to at least the 1600 type of zone at an extreme are fairly high. This sort of overextension is not sustainable. Now let's have a look quickly at the levels for the day. We have Nifty support zone at 10,736 to about 10,771. Resistance at 1043, 10,843 to about 10,879. And on the Bank Nifty, we have support at 21,823 to about 21,999. And on the upside, 22,349 to about 22,525. So this way, I think you have a broad idea. Financials underperform. Nifty gets into a bit of a corrective to sideways move. I may move my uh, bearish spread to August because markets take time in falling sometimes. So that is something I could do. People who want to write spreads, I think 10,500, 10,900 call and put you can write. Um, in fact, you can even write 10,600 and 10,900 options. 10,600 put, 10,900 call, hedge it with 11,100 call, and 10,400 call put on the downside. So that way you can sell the iron condor, and that would serve you well for the next 2 or 3 sessions that we have on the uh, weekly expiry. That should be it for right now. Please take care of yourself, trade well, and please also consult your financial advisor before applying real money.